Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our class. And just in case you forget, I'm Miss Firda, and I am your English teacher for the UTBK Literasi Bahasa Inggris course. Okay, how's everyone doing? Awesome? Great? Perfect. Okay. So, yes, I do hope that each and every one of us in this class will always be in a good condition, yeah, both physically and mentally. Okay, class. So as always, before we start our class today, let's recite a prayer. Okay, in a hope that Allah gives us blessings and also the ease to absorb any knowledge and add more valuable insights and experience for our life. Okay, so let's pray together ya. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi zidni ilman nafi'a warzuqni fahma. Ya Allah, berikanlah hamba ilmu yang bermanfaat dan pemahaman yang baik. Okay, class. So in our agenda today, we're going to discuss two questions that are taken from UTBK Literasi Bahasa Inggris. Okay. So is everyone ready? Ready? Awesome, yeah? Okay, good. Now, before anything, I'd like to remind you, in any kinds of reading test, there will always be three parts. Okay, the passage, the question, and the options. Now, does anybody still remember which part that we have to read first? Anyone? That's right, we have to read the question first. Okay, we need to know what to look for in order to find the correct answer. Then, what's next? Great, we have to read the options. All right. So, then after reading the options, we can try to proceed with the text by using some techniques or strategies. Okay? Remember that it's strictly forbidden in any kinds of reading test to read word by word. Okay? Remember that. Now, let's move to number one, yeah? Let's read the question together. Which of the following is the best synthesis of the two texts? Okay. In the question, we have the word synthesis. Does anybody know what it means? Yes. Synthesis means the combination of ideas. Ideas. So the question has already given us some clues of what technique to use. What do we need to use for this question, class? Anyone? Skimming. Yes, we have to use skimming. Okay. Now, before moving to the text, let's read the options. Yeah. Alpha says both orca and the octopus are dangerous predators. Okay, Alpha says both orcas and octopus are predators. Bravo says both orca and octopus are survivors. Okay, Alpha says both are predators. Bravo says both are survivors. Charlie says orca is intelligent. Octopus is instinctive and relies on natural camouflage. Okay, Delta says both orcas and octopuses share similar habitats and hunt for the same prey. Echo says orca is an apex predator. Does anybody know what apex means? Yes, it means the top, yeah, dominant predator. While octopus has little role in marine ecosystems and avoid interaction with other species. Okay, so we know that the question is asking us to find the synthesis, the combination of ideas. Okay, we know the meaning of every single option. Now, let's proceed with the text by using skimming. Good job. Does anybody still remember how we do skimming? Great. So we need to read the first and the last sentences of every paragraph. Okay, so let's do so together, yeah? In the first paragraph, okay, the first sentence talk about orcas, yeah? Killer whales. Okay, the last sentence says they communicate constantly, coordinate attacks, and adapt based on their prey's behavior. The second paragraph, the first sentence says orcas are not just powerful, but they're precise. Okay. So they have a proper size, social complexity, and cognitive ability to make them one of the most formidable animals in the ocean. In the third paragraph, it says, but with power comes impact. So they're like underwater monarchs, unquestioned and observed from afar. Okay? If you take a look at the second sentence of the third paragraph, we also know that orcas influence marine ecosystems, so they have the influence. Now, text 2, which is about octopus, the first paragraph says that octopus survives not through dominance, unlike orcas, okay, but through invisibility. They have no bones, 3 hearts, and skin that can change texture and color in milliseconds. Okay. Rather than confront predators, octopuses avoid them. So octopuses avoid interaction. They don't seek to rule resources, they seek to survive. So orcas are predators, octopuses are survivors. In the third paragraph of the second text, unlike the orca, which draws attention wherever it goes, the octopus thrives in the shadows. And both strategies, through opposite, are brilliantly effective. Okay. Oopsie. So I think from our analysis together just now, it's very clear, yeah? Which one is the best answer to number 1? Anyone? The answer is echo. Good job. Okay. So unlike the orca, which is an apex predator, the dominant predator, the octopus has little role in marine ecosystems and avoids interactions with other species. Okay, so that's for number 1. Any question or objections? All good? All clear? Perfect. Moving on to number 2, class. Always move and start from the question, yeah? The question says, which of the following best restates the statement? Okay, so this is a paraphrasing question. Now, this question is actually quite nice because it has the appointed sentence in the question already. Okay, so if we read the appointed sentence, found hiding in crevices, blending into coral reefs, or vanishing into a puff of ink, the octopus relies on camouflage and creativity. Now, let me ask you one thing. Is this sentence understandable already or not? Is it easy to understand the sentence or not? Yes? Great. If you can already understand the sentence, then you don't need to go back to the text. Okay, just proceed with this one. Okay, remember that a test is time limited, so you have to move quickly, right? But if there's anything in the appointed sentence that you don't understand, you still have to go back to the text and find the proper reference. Okay, just to make everything clear related to the sentence. Okay, so now let's move to the options. Alpha says the octopus uses its strength and creativity. I think we can directly eliminate alpha, yeah? The appointed sentence does not have strength at all. So alpha will be incorrect. Bravo says octopuses are blended near coral reefs where they build homes and defend their territory. So the appointed sentence does have blending into coral reefs. But the sentence doesn't say anything whether the octopuses use the coral reefs as their homes or not. Okay, so is it the correct answer or not? Is it right or wrong? It's wrong. Good job. Moving on to option C. The octopus depends on its ability to blend into its surroundings and use clever tactics to escape danger. Now, this one seemed to be correct, right? Now, in a test environment, plus, if you're dealing with this kind of situation and you think that C has the most probability to be the right answer, what I want you to do is choose C directly and move on to the next question. Okay? If you're not sure with this answer, you can go back to this number if you have remaining time. Remember that you still have like many other questions to answer, so don't spend too much focusing on this one, right? But because it's a class and we need to have some discussion, then let's try to check answer D, yeah? D says octopuses survive not only by hiding in small spaces of coral reefs, but also into a puff of ink. Now this one is also incorrect. Does anybody know why? Right, because the sentence says vanishing. Vanishing means disappearing. Okay, not hiding. Okay, so delta is not the answer that we're looking for. And in option echo, the octopus uses bright colors and loud noises. Now this one is definitely wrong, yeah? The sentence doesn't say anything about loud noises. In fact, octopuses, according to the text that we just analyzed for number 1, avoid interaction. Okay, so the answer to number 2 is? The answer to number 2 is? Charlie. Perfect, good job. Okay, all right. So yes, I think that's all for today, everyone. Does anybody would anybody like to summarize or wrap up what we have discussed today? That's right. In a reading test, we have to read the question first, then the options, then the text. Okay. What else? Good. It's strictly forbidden to read word by word in the passage. Okay. Instead, you have to proceed the passage with some strategies. Yeah. And the two most prominent ones are skimming and scanning. One more. Good. UTBK is a test with limited time. So we need to move quickly. Okay, once you found what seems to be the best answer out of the 5 options, just choose that one and move on to the next question. If you're not sure, go back to that number only if you have the remaining time. Okay. Okay, class, so it's been very nice to have you here. Before ending our class today, let's recite the prayer of Kafaratul Majlis, ya. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu alla ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. So I'm going to see you again in the next meeting, everyone. Thank you for coming. Have a good rest. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.